We're Shannon and Lisa, back with another video for Avida RV motorhomes and caravans. Today we're going to talk about our best tourist destinations that we have visited while travelling all around Australia twice. Here's our top 12.
Swimming with dolphins and sea lions off the coast of South Australia in Baird Bay was fantastic. Shannon was actually going to do a shark dive down at Port Lincoln, but instead we changed our mind because all four of us could enjoy a day-long tour in the cold waters of South Australia and have a much better experience as a family.
Canoeing in Catherine Gorge, Northern Territory. We missed out on doing this on lap 1, so we made sure we did it just recently during our second lap. Fun for the whole family. I haven't canoed since high school. And look, it was just so picturesque. The backdrop, it was like you are canoeing into an oil painting. It was just beautiful. It's one of those sacred Indigenous areas. You're still allowed to go touring through it. It was hot, it was late in the season when we did it. However, whilst I say that, we had Catherine Gorge pretty much all to ourselves.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was hot, but was it worth doing it late in the season?
Absolutely it was.
Totally was, yeah.
Sailing the Whitsundays in a catamaran. My God, this place...
That's your gig, that one.
This place is picturesque. It has to be the ultimate place to sail in Australia.
Probably in the world.
Yeah, in the world. The waters are turquoise, the sandy beaches are white, it's peaceful, there's 74 islands, and it's a must-do when you're in the area. You have to do it.
Fourth one on the list, snorkeling in Ningaloo Reef, Western Australia. Now, we talked about world-class backdrops with your catamaraning through the Whitsundays. I must admit, we have done, as in you and I, have done scuba diving in Hawaii.
Yes.
I've scuba dived the Great Barrier Reef, but I must say, just snorkeling in Exmouth, Ningaloo Reef, Western Australia, trumps the lot. It's world-class, guys, and it's some of the best experiences I've had swimming among marine life ever.
To be able to walk off the beach, just fantastic.
That's right, whereas Great Barrier Reef's a 2-hour charter, getting very seasick like I did, 2-hour charter to get yourself out there onto the reef, and look, you're right, to just throw your snorkel on and swim with sea turtles and all the marine life, octopus,
world class.
You name it, yep, that's where it is.
Jumping crocs in Northern Territory.
Yeah.
My goodness, I don't know anywhere in the world where you can hop in a boat and get that close to a massive, I don't know,
Monsters.
60, 70-year-old crocodile that wiggles its way out of the water to munch on some raw meat.
Yeah.
Unbelievable experience that we did on our first lap, and I couldn't recommend it highly. It was certainly something completely different than anything we've ever done before. It was unreal.
Yeah, it really delivered, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
It was surprisingly very entertaining, guys. So whilst I did mention snorkeling on Ningaloo Reef, scuba diving. I think scuba diving for my first time with Jess, which was her first scuba trip, Great Keppel Island. Now, Great Keppel Island gets a bit of a ribbing for being a bit of a party island, but hey, you can have a lot of fun there. It is part of the Keppel Island cluster. It's a great place to just hang out, do your snorkeling, do your scuba diving. We went out that day on a charter with a really funny guy. I hope he still works there, this Irish guy who was a laugh a minute. The water is just sensational, and the fact that I was out there scuba diving with my then 15-year-old daughter, it was a ton of fun. And again, it wasn't a 2-hour charter out to the Great Barrier Reef. It was literally just in a little boat, and they took us out, just out at sea, and away you go.
The access to Keppel Island is so easy. It's just a small boat ride from Yeppoon, so very accessible.
And it's a party island, apparently.
Visiting Harndorf in South Australia. If you can't get to Europe and visit Germany for real, well, here's where you go in here's where you go in South Australia. It's a quirky little town with lots of different treats to eat, and it's certainly a must-do. We did it this trip, and we were excited to have been there.
Don't forget the world's largest hot dog. It's 1 metre long. Challenge you.
You had to try it, right?
The next one we highly recommend is what I think is Australia's biggest draw card into the outback, and that's none other than Uluru and the West MacDonnell Ranges. We've all heard of Uluru, right? Or formerly called Ayers Rock. You can't climb it anymore, but that's okay. It is such a spectacular sight to see, especially on sunrise and sunset. But also take the journey through the West McDonnell Ranges
Picturesque.
while you're going to Uluru.
Absolutely picturesque, and the free camping, unbelievable.
Yeah, it was. And I struggled to pick what was better, Uluru or West McDonnell Ranges.
Shannon always describes it as driving through an oil painting because it was so pretty.
Goss Bluff Crater, West McDonnell Ranges and Uluru. Do the whole region, guys. Knock yourself out. You won't regret it. It is a motorhomer's haven out there.
Hiking the Grampians in Victoria. We like doing our little hikes around Australia.
This one wasn't little.
No, it most certainly wasn't. We got up early in the morning to do it. It was recommended by friends. If you're in the area, then you must take a walk up the top of the mountain.
The advice there too is very, very solid footwear and moderate level fitness. The Grampians, it is tough hiking.
And there is multiple different hikes that you can do. There's obviously longer and steeper ones. So just do whatever your fitness level allows you to.
One of the big tourist attractions here in Australia, taking the spirit of Tasmania to Tassie. Look, just the journey alone, doing the leg from Port Melbourne into Devonport, it's an experience. Even with pets, you can take your pets with you, you can leave them in your RV or put them on the pet deck. But the spirit of Tasmania has its own cinemas, bars, cafes. You can do a day sail or you can sail overnight, get your own cabin. It really was a great family experience for us. And then you arrive at the beautiful Tasmania and the whole state itself. Again, a motorhoming haven. If you like little towns and those quaint little quirky places around Australia,
then Tasmania's it.
Tasmania has it on a platter.
We were lucky to do that in our first trip, and like Shannon mentioned, it was out of Port Melbourne. Now the boat actually leaves from Geelong, so a different location, but certainly one that we recommend, and spend some time down there. There's a lot to see.
So grab your motorhome and involve that with some seafaring and sailing and get your backside trackside to Tasmania. You won't regret it.
Kosciuszko National Park in New South Wales. I'm the beach lover of the family and Shannon's Mr. Outback.
True.
But if the country's what you love, then you must put this on your list of places to visit. You can walk up the tallest mountain in Australia, you can ride horses through the national park and see wild brumbies.
And pretend you're the man from Snow River.
You can. Or if winter and skiing's your thing, then that's the place to be.
Nice part of the world, actually.
It is.
Nice part of New South Wales.
Beautiful part of the world.
Out of our 2 laps around Australia, it was very hard to narrow it down just to 12 places. People often ask us, what was your favourite place in Australia? I always say, Australia. It is that hard to pick, but number 12 on the list is Birdsville. Not just the Birdsville Bash, but the journey into Birdsville. Go and see parts of the Simpson Desert, go parts of the Flinders Ranges. It is world-class motorhoming, and that is a promise. I did parts of it on a motorcycle, for me, just so I could penetrate further areas into the Flinders Ranges and into the Simpson Desert. Sure.
I'd like to actually go do the Birdsville Bash.
Yep, and I believe Birdsville Bash has literally dozens and dozens and dozens of motorhomers, campers, caravans in front of a big concert stage.
Sounds like the place to be for an awesome event.
Where else could you get any better, guys, than motorhoming to Birdsville? So that's number 12.
Yes, and all of these locations that we've listed are not in any order. They're not from 1 to 12. They're
no favourites.
No favourites. It's like Shannon says, all of Australia is our favourite place, but these are just some of the highlights.
Speaking of favourite places, I'm going to pick a state at least.
Okay, I'll pick a state too.
Go.
Mine has to be Queensland. I just love it. There's just so much to do, and there's so a lot of variety. You've got the beaches, and then you've got outback.
I love the country. It's Tasmania for me, because it's not just parts of Tasmania I like. I just love Tassie. If you love all the little country towns, and the climate's good. Queensland's a bit hot for me. Yeah. The climate's good, and I love the rough, rugged country that Tasmania offers. Almost Europe-like scenery. That's my pick. Get out there, guys. Get that motor home. Put the key in the ignition. Put some fuel in the tank, and get out there.
Yeah, just get out there and experience
it. And hey, give us your top 12. See you guys.